I grew up on the BC coast. My mom would pack us all in the van. I have 2 brothers and 2 sisters. And we would just go to the beach for the entire day, all through the summer. And seaweed was a huge part of that. We would just be playing in the tidal pools and playing with the snakes, the water snakes and the little crabs. And there was always bull kelp, huge bull kelp, just 20 meters long around on the beach. We don't have it so much here in Nova Scotia. In my own art practice, seaweed comes up a lot. I make a lot of art, sculptures that are from the ocean, and often it's seaweed. I'm just drawn to it. It's beautiful to me. And so through that making of the seaweed, I was like, oh, that is what is right for me, actually, is having something around and across my body that has that flow. But I wanted it to be something that was significant, because it's a significant move for me. I was not intending on getting such a large tattoo. The tattoo is about double the size of what I had planned or thought. I have a friend who is a very cool pen and watercolor artist. Her name is Amy Nemeth. And I had been thinking about her designing a tattoo for me, actually. And she has a bunch of tattoos. So I was like, yeah, she's the one to talk to. So I had just bumped into her and I said, hey, I'm thinking of getting a tattoo. Do you design tattoos? Love your art. And she was kind of like, not really. And I told her a little bit about what I was thinking, just this body piece, and that it's my first tattoo. You need to see Chad Harrington. He does body pieces and really will put you at ease. A really nice, safe, clean environment that I would highly recommend for your first tattoo. And then I emailed Chad with just couple images, and I like seaweed, and booked a consultation. I don't show my body to people regularly. That's not a thing that I do normally. I had mentioned that during our consult. And Chad had kind of just reiterated that he works on bodies all the time. And I don't know, the way we were just talking, it just felt professional. But he did really expand my tattoo idea into something so much greater than I had considered. And yeah, I think I took way too much time of that initial 20-minute consult, but he drew it all on my body at that first consult, and I was blown away. And it was just with the marker, but man, it looked pretty powerful, super cool and exciting, and more than I had thought for sure. But I felt like we kind of were maybe coming together with an idea. It was a bit of a team effort, right? This is my idea, and then he had ways to grow that I don't know that anybody else would have. I also liked that he worked on big pieces and he worked on a lot of women, and that made me feel better. Just that was his comfort, his normal, his usual day-to-day. That put me at ease too. So for bull kelp in particular, it's kind of in 4 parts, and the bottom part that connects the whole structure to the ocean floor, usually on a rock or something, is called a holdfast. To me, the holdfast symbolizes being deeply rooted and grounded and holding on to what is valuable and true and important. And then the next part is called the stipe. And that's the tube. And on the bull kelp, it's quite thick and hollow actually for most of the way, but it's very strong. it's kind of like the traveler. It's the part that is on a journey and going far. It's still rooted to home and security, but it's like what gives me the courage to leave, to try new things that may be tricky or difficult, or that may even end up being failures. But it's always okay because I'm still connected. I'm not adrift. The next part is the bulb, and it is a float, actually. And when I think of that, I think of people who would be there to help me in difficult times. And then the last part is really cool, is the blades, and they're like ribbons. Chad and I kind of talked about this. They're so cool because they move with the current and with the tide. And so I want to use that as a reminder to be flexible and be able to go with the current, be able to shift, not be so stuck in my ways that I can't change. I felt very cared for and respected, and that really put me at ease. He actually made this little enclosed room so that none of the other artists or clientele would be part of what was, quite private for me. So I really appreciated that a lot. I was pretty nervous, to be honest. I was a mixture of excitement and nerves. I was thinking of it more along the terms of permanency and change to my body, more than actually the actual session or the process of it. I think I reached a point in my life where I want to do the things now that I think are worthwhile. And that's why I wound up in Chad's office. So I did have the conviction of this is what I want, and this is the right thing to do right now. I just went into it knowing that whatever it feels like, I'm going to get it. I think I just had to make the choice in advance that I could handle, or that I would have to handle, whatever it felt like. And it was not good, but maybe it was meaningful. I think that, Chad and I kind of talked about how it costs you something to get a tattoo. Not just time and money, but it costs you inside something. And if you're not willing to pay that and to go through that valley, then maybe tattoos aren't right for you, or significant tattoos or certain spots. I don't know. I only know what I experienced, and it was hard. Okay, so when I was having the blades tattooed, I had already been tattooed for 3 hours or so. So I was in it deep, had a couple breaks. And this work was a lot different. It was everywhere, right? It was I use the word mess, and it's not a mess, it's done precisely, but it's just all over the place. And there were two different things happening. There was the outline, and then there was the shading. And I could barely handle the outlines. But then the shading was like being underwater. It was like riding a wave to me. It just felt like when the lines were going, I was climbing with all this intensity. that I could barely handle. And then he would switch and do the dots and the shading, and then I would come down and like melt and release. And it felt huge. It felt like I was riding this like surf, all in a mix of the kelp, barely able to like see straight. Maybe that's why I love that work so much, is because it was really impactful as I was getting it done. I felt more brave and courageous, just like, yeah, I did this thing that I was frankly nervous to do, but I did it, and now I feel good about it. It was a significant change. It was a lot. It was a long time on a table, and I think that there was a transformative thing that happened there. And maybe that goes back to the pain piece, is like, it takes time and a lot of energy and a lot of working through something, and it was moving. Yeah, I can do anything now. One girlfriend saw the whole thing, just like stripping in her living room or in her kitchen. She had really encouraged me to go forward with this design, and I didn't tell her I did it, but then I was over having lunch with her, and she was like, show me it all. And just said, it's beautiful. I'm so proud of you for doing that. Like, it's amazing. What a great fit to your body. Like, just, she thought the world of it. It was really nice. Yeah. It was great. It has just helped me to realize that, like, it's now or never. Do the things that you want to do, Elise, because I don't know what the future will hold at all. And so what if something is big or different or not what other people would see me as? That doesn't matter. What matters is that I am being true to what is valuable to me and what how I want to see myself. I don't know, I kind of do recommend waiting until you're older to get something significant, because it can have such a profound impact. And I think that's amazing. But I wouldn't have had the headspace, the capacity, the understanding to feel deeply about something like this 20 years ago. So I'm glad that it took me my whole life so far to get to this point. And yeah, I do just feel like, I'm hanging on to my little rock, my Holdfast, but I'm also out here being wild and free and just flexible, going where the wind takes me. It's cool.